Welcome back to the Gaming Pantry. This is the Retro Bear. Yes, speaking to you with a pickups video and also a review of the Birmingham Gaming Market, which was on Sunday the 8th of May. I forget, it was a couple of weeks ago now, and the old grey matter isn't quite what it used to be. But welcome back anyway. Hope you're all well. Nice to see you here again. And yeah, just a few things to show off. We got the pickups, we got some market chatter, and we got some gifts as well from a good friend. So yeah, we'll get through those, and yes, I hope you're all doing good. Yeah, so I haven't done one of these for a few weeks, as you can probably tell. That's because I'm just not picking stuff up. But anyway, let's launch straight into it. Not an awful lot to introduce this time around. Let's talk about what happened. Firstly, let's talk about April, wasn't it? I purchased a new system for the collection, which was an Xbox One. If you didn't see that video, go back and have a look at that. It spoils it now because it says, yeah, you know what it is. So probably don't go back and watch that. But yeah, I bought an Xbox One because it's the last system I hadn't got really. No interest in the current generation, but I really wanted one of these. And I've ticked another one off the list. And there aren't many left on that list now. But it was great. I bought an Xbox One, fantastic controller, brilliant, good deal on it, everything boxed, fantastic, and all I needed was a game, really. I was offered one of a choice at the time, but there wasn't anything really interesting me. And like I said, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the Xbox One. Probably use it maybe for Game Pass. And that probably might be it, although that could be an expensive option if I don't use it an awful lot. So I think what I'm probably going to do is pick up games that, one, I won't be able to get on PlayStation, but two, also, games that interest me, or ones I actually want to sit there and play rather than just buy stuff. I'm well known for having a small PS4 collection. You know what I was going to say there, weren't you? A small PS4 collection and a small Switch collection. But that's because, one, with the PS4 stuff, is generally stuff that I want to buy because I'm interested. Now I've got PlayStation Now plus whatever it is. I don't really need to buy any PlayStation 4 games because I can download what I want from there, or whatever's available. And with the Switch, people just buy me games for the Switch. Dear old dad. But yeah, at some point I will sit down and play it, but I don't want to buy games for Switch because I don't really play on it. PlayStation 4, which is this way, so where's the Xbox One fit? But I don't know. But there are a few games I wanted to get, and I managed to find it. I'll tell you something, my goodness me, I spent an entire weekend searching for this game, and I went everywhere for it. I've been in about 6 or 7 different shops, and it turns out that my local CEX actually had it. So it was a complete waste of time going around all these shops trying to find it. So I did manage to pick this up. I did ask people to give me a recommendation on that video, and the overwhelming majority spoke of this game. And to be honest with you, it was a game I wanted to pick up anyway. So this is the Rare Replay game, which I've had a quick blast through. And I see people telling me, people saying to me, oh, the Xbox One you've got is probably going to be a bit too small terms because it's a 500 gig one. I was like, well, I've literally now coming to towards the end of the amount of space I've got left on my PlayStation 4, which I've had for about 5 years nearly. So I've got a feel horrible, a nice feeling that the Xbox One is probably going to last me a little bit. You need to see the inside of the Xbox One case. There we go, anyway. But the attraction for this one is just the huge library of Rare games. There's games here that came out on the Spectrum, the NES, the Super Nintendo, the N64, and the Xbox 360 as well. So I've had a quick go at some of them. Mrs. Bear's had a quick go at some of them as well. She was very much enjoying playing Jetpack, and she actually quite enjoyed playing Jetpack Refueled as well, which is also on here. And I was playing RC Pro-Am, which I've never played, but I do like a good racing game. And there's plenty on here to go through. Banjo-Kazooie, Battletoads, Blast Corps, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I'm just picking games out here. Conker's Bad Fur Day, Perfect Dark, which I've got. I've got Perfect Dark boxed. And I got Perfect Dark Zero with a tin as well on the Xbox 360. Some of these obviously you have to download, that's why people warn me about it. You'll put this disc in and immediately 50 gigs gone. But hey ho, there you go. But yeah, I just wanted that because I think for the value of it, 30 games, and I paid, was it £3.50, £3.50, bargain, innit? absolute bargain. So I got that. When did I get that? Was it a Saturday? I think it was a Saturday before I went to the gaming market. So, yeah, I bought a game a week ago, once over a week ago, and I actually played some of it. Things different. So, yeah, so moving swiftly on to the Birmingham Gaming Market, which is Sunday the 8th of May, and I'm beginning to think this is the thing that's going to happen now. Game market's usually held on a Saturday, this time they're going to hold them on a Sunday, which is all well and good. Does it, I mean, it's fine if it's local, but it's a bit of a pain in the arse if you're going to go to somewhere like Doncaster, because it's a long old day to do that in one day. And on Sunday, and if you haven't got the Monday booked off work, you know, you've lost a massive chunk of your weekend, especially if you're working through a period of long holiday without any holiday. So it's bizarre. I sound like I'm floundering for excuses for not going to Doncaster, but generally how I look at it, if you could put something on a Sunday, I'm probably less inclined to go than I would be on a Saturday. I don't know. It's just how it is. So yeah, I went to Birmingham and I bought an early entry ticket, which is even more weird. Yeah, I've changed, haven't I? I would normally have gone in with the general public at 12 o'clock, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get there early and just walk around and maybe do a bit of filming. I knew a couple of tubers were stalling. I thought, well, I'll better see there. And obviously you get to go around first and have, not saying first dibs on everything, but you get a better overview of it and you can see what's there. You can probably get around a lot quicker. You'll know what people have got for sale, so you can probably get the bulk of your buying done right at the start. But for me, it worked out completely and utterly wrong. I got there for about, I think it was 11:15. And if you don't know that part of Birmingham at the moment, Digbeth, it's basically a construction site. And it's not just the pavements, it's the roads. It's an absolute nightmare. Last year when it was on in September, it was a nightmare then, but it wasn't as bad as it was now. There were pedestrian divertments all over the place. Diversions. Is divertments a word? I don't know. I might have just made that up. But there were pedestrian diversions all over the place. It was hard to know which way to go. I got the train in. It's easy for me to get, because if I take my car, it charged me £8, and I thought, bad enough buying an early entry ticket. Cost me £5 something on the train return, so I thought I'll do that. And then you got there and you walk down and think, oh, it's great. You get around the corner walls and there's like barriers everywhere and pedestrians this way. And there was probably quite a few of us got off the train at the same time, all heading in the right direction. We're all following one another. We went all the way to the back streets of Digbeth, which, when you walk around there, it's amazing the amount of broken glass and signs up saying lock it or lose it. You have to walk past and thinking, I'm going to have to walk back to the train station at some point, possibly on my own, possibly with a bag full of gaming stuff. I don't really like the idea of this. And it turns out that we didn't need to take this diversion, because when I came out afterwards, I thought, you know what, sod it. I'm going to go as if I would have gone normally, and pretty much apart from having to cross over a dual carriageway and back over it again, it was all right. I could have actually gone the normal way and having to go through the back streets and wonder if I was going to make it through the other side. It was an interesting walk, don't get me wrong. But my first question to anybody who spoke to me, how did you get here? Was it complicated getting here today? It was. So it took a bit longer to get from the train station, which should have been a 5-10 minute walk maximum, which ended up being a 15 to 20 minute diversion. It was good for get a bit of exercise, but not exactly how you planned it. It was a bit of a pain in the arse to get to. Hopefully, they've got the Commonwealth Games coming in September. Hopefully we'll all be sorted by then. So congratulations to Birmingham City Council. That was brilliant. When I got there was, I don't know, there was quite a few people lined up to get in. It didn't really make any difference. They opened bang on time. We were in there quite straight away. And then my plan of walking around and looking at everything just sort of fell over, and fell over in a nice way, because I kept bumping into people, and it was great. So, tell you what, before I talk about who I bumped into, let's run some footage. The limited footage I got, you can see what it's like, and then I'll come back and tell you who I spoke to and who saw me and what we're chatting about, and then we'll do that in a minute. So. VT, run. Yeah, so that was the early entry. Actually got a vague idea of what was going on. I hope you did. Anyway, I can't even remember what I'd filmed, so I'm actually now talking about this without remembering what I filmed anyway. So that was what it was like. It was bigger than it was last year because I think they got, well, I say bigger. I think some of the trading tables were bigger, but there were actually less people there in terms of sellers. And what they'd done is there were 2 rooms at the back which they'd opened up and put people in there. So I think maybe it's about the same balance, but there were some traders there who weren't there last time around, which was interesting. I got to see Tootie and Fob. They weren't there in September. It was good to see those guys again. I did see them at Dana's shop opening a few months beforehand. Dana was there. They were right next to each other, so he was looking tanned after his stag do in Portugal, and he was very busy. He was busy right off the bat. Saw Nick from Vintage Game where they got the one far wall, and believe me, after getting in early, I wish I'd got there and got to his stall first, because you couldn't get to it afterwards. It was probably the busiest one of the lot there, and there were the Console Passion were there, other trades. Some I didn't recognise, some I did recognise from before. Yeah, so there's no doubt about it. There was so much variety on display. I will say this, that again, guiding the people who've never been to game, I'm not going to sit here and criticise. I'm not be one of these videos that's going to sit there and criticise people's prices. Although the only thing I would say is they are all over the place at the moment. It is genuinely, you have to do your research. You have to get in there and try not to buy the first thing you come across, because I can guarantee to you, if you'd walk around there on that Sunday, you'd have probably found what you were looking for at 3 or 4 different sellers, and the prices would be 3 or 4 different. They would all be different. There was no consistency on something. So I'm not going to get in the habit of saying, I'm not going to do running people down, etc. That's not it. That's just the way they are. You have to go in there and you have to just, unless you think it's a good deal, it's always best to look around. Or if you think that ain't going to last there very long, I better get it for that price. That's what it is. So I'm not going to get into the habit of doing that. People have to make a living. No problem with that at all. So I did bump into people. I bumped into Angela, Spooky Geek, who I saw last time in September. We didn't get a chance to chat properly. Saw her at least twice round, going round there. It was wonderful to meet Angela. She's been a supporter of my channel for quite some time now. And it was nice to have a decent conversation this time. In fact, I actually saw James, Retro Import Gamer, first. And he was with his wife. We were having a quick chat when he came. I saw him when he came in, and he was just, right at the very top at the beginning. So I just seen him stand there when I walk into that place. It's like I stand there and people just automatically home in on me. Last time it was Rollercore, Eddie. I sort of turned around and he was there, and then this time I walked in and sort of looked up, and there was James walking through the door with his missus. So good to meet James again. Met him a few weeks back as well. And while I was talking to James, Angela sort of stood there waiting very patiently and asked his wife, "Oh, are you waiting to speak? Are you waiting to talk to Retro Bear?" And she's like, "No, he is." It's like, well, yeah. So great to meet you both again. Great to meet you both again. I then saw I was walking around, and then somebody just goes, "Retro Bears." Like, well, it was Natasha. And Dale, Daily Retro, and little baby Caden. It was nice to meet all of them again. A quick, long chat with Natasha actually, and I had to give Dale. Dale sent me sent Mrs. Bear some equipment to so you can have a go at it. And I forgot, almost disappear without paying Dale. So Dale, I do apologise. I didn't say at the time I wasn't planning on running off without paying you. So sorry about that, mate. But that's all sorted now anyway. So that was done. So good to see you walking around there again. Now you've picked a few things up. Great to see the little one as well. He was great. He was really enjoying it. It was really good. Of course, Natasha was all good to see her again. Who else I see? Oh, I was then approached by Martin, the Evesham gamer, who actually sort of said, "Oh, are you the YouTuber Retro Bear?" It's great when people say that, you know. It's nice. So I had a quick chat with him as well. Got to know Martin from via James at Game Zone Bird Room. He was on one of his streams over Christmas. So Martin's done a video on the market as well. So I'll try and put a link to everybody in there. Trevor, Rock and Roller RC, who's a regular in most of our the streams that we do. Good to meet Trevor again. Met him at Dana's shop opening as well. Nice long chat with him. Really nice guy, Trevor. Really, really nice guy. So do again, go and give him some support. But he's mostly into his RC cars, but he does do odd. He's doing a couple of pickups videos, but yeah, really nice guy, Trevor. I know he's going to try and get to Arcade Cud last weekend, but he couldn't get there. But yeah, he's always in the comments and the live chat, so it's good to see Trevor as well. And then as I was going out, Darth Steve was coming in. Again, I met Steve at Dana's shop opening as well, and he said, "Oh, will you see Eddie?" I was like, "Probably not." I said, "But I know somebody who might." And he said, "Well, can you give him this?" So he gave me a game to pass on, which has now been passed on to him. So I wish I could have stayed longer to chat to Steve, but I was on my way out, so that was a real shame. I said, "No, Steve, I know you were coming. I'd have made some time to speak to you, mate." We had a great chat at Chinwag at Dana's shop when it opened, and it would be nice to have seen you there again, but not to worry, I'm sure there'll be plenty other times in the future. So yeah, it's about 6 or 7 people, stalling out people as well. Yeah, and it was good. The only thing that sort of I was a bit concerned about was, I think last year it was very much post, was it third wave of COVID, something like that. The restrictions had been released fully, and we were basically allowed to sort of carry on before Omicron hit. And I think last time they just let everybody in. But this time it seemed very much as if they were trying to keep numbers of people inside down, so they didn't. It never actually felt as if, yes, the tables were busy, and yes, again, they were probably 2 or 3 deep, and quite frankly, somebody moves out the way and somebody else gets in there like it is. It never felt like it was really oppressively busy. So when I left, I went in just after 11 o'clock, and I think I left about 1:30, because I wanted to get back to me. Because, you know, at my age, you know, you're on your feet for, you know, I've been on my feet since, 10:15 when I got off the train, on my feet for 3.5 hours. I'm going to walk back and get the train, and then, you know, it's a long day at my age now. Sorry, I know it's a long day, but there are certain ailments I have which are beginning to play up more and more as I get older. Probably something to do with the fact that I've got this huge stomach on me as well, which isn't helping things, but that's not your problem, that's mine. So people still coming in at around about 1:30, and they would not just wait in the cup. You know, a couple of people couldn't just walking up to the door and coming in. They were queued up out of the door, and I thought, well, the thing finishes at 4. You know, either not leaving themselves a lot of time to get in, which is a bit zealous. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. So I don't think anybody had a problem getting in. I think it was just better. So you never felt it was really oppressively busy, but it was brisk. I will give it that. It was brisk. I think if someone said to me, it's not what I thought it was going to be, but then the impression I got was they had a very good day. So there it is. And I know somebody had a fantastic day as well. And like I said, you know, some of the traders were just constantly dealing with people. It's great because you can stand there and listen to it, and it's like, oh, you know, how much is this? And yeah, what about these 3, mate? Yeah, I'll do that for £100. Yeah, big money being spent, no doubt about it. Cost of living crisis. Anyway, so what did I buy from the Birmingham Gaming Market, I hear you ask, in your singular numbers? One thing. I don't know what it was. I just don't know what it was. I just wasn't feeling it when I got in there. Yeah, it was weird, because last time I went and I said I didn't have an unlimited budget, but I had money I was given to spend. Mrs. Bear said, there you go, don't come back with it, buy yourself something nice. And I got Eddie with me that day as well, and Eddie was like, oh, you know, this time I hadn't got that, and I'd taken, you know, money with me and what have you, and I thought, well, I'll take this with me just in case, and then if I need it or whatever, then I didn't, and I didn't. I bought one thing, which was, I was going to say disappointed, but I don't think I'd left there thinking. There was one thing I did leave behind, which was a Commodore 64 compilation, which I probably, with hindsight, could have probably got, but I was only buying it for one game. And again, if you know my Commodore 64 collection, it's probably going to sit there for a very, very long time without actually being played, or it would be the only one I play, and that would be it. I wouldn't play anything else on there. So I thought, for the price it was as well, it's 12 to 15 quid. I thought, because I do like my compilation, I'm trying to collect for the C64, but I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there's Master System games I do collect for. There was, you know, I'll go through all the Wii games. There were some really big hitting Wii games. Somebody trying to sell a Shadow's Tale for 200 quid sealed, which I know that's quite a rare game, but I'm not sure 200 quid is the asking price for it. There was one sort of some fantastic Master System games, but they were ridiculously expensive. And there was some cheap stuff there. I thought, well, I didn't get some cheap stuff, but they just thought, well, I'm just buying stuff for the sake of buying it. So the only thing I found, which I really wanted to get hold of, was a Commodore 64 compilation. So I'm sorry it's not a massively big pile of pickups, but anyway. So I got this, which is Winners. And this has, if you watch me on Micromaniacs and Nerdy Gear stream, you'd have seen this already. But we got Thunderblade, Leadstorm, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Blasteroids, which is an arcade game, which is an update of the old Asteroids game, and Impossible Mission 2, the sequel to one of the best C64 games ever. So it's a bit ratty, as you can see, but this was £4. So for the sake of that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to nab that. Box needs a bit of repair, and I checked the inside and I thought, oh great, lovely, got all the instructions with it, got the tapes in there. They are the right tapes as well, which I did check to make sure that was correct. However, I didn't check the instructions correctly, because the first thing I saw when I got home was the word myth, and I thought, hang on, that's not in here. And then I saw the word vendetta, and then I saw the word System 3 at the top, and then I opened up even further and I got the word Tusker. So these actually are the wrong instructions for the game. So yeah, so despite checking the fact that the instructions were in there, they're the wrong ones. But that's fine. That's fine. What was interesting was this is one of these cheap stalls out there. He basically said 3 items for a tenner. He had loads of compilations, but they were all missing bits. There was an Amiga compilation. I think it was a Heroes compilation, which was missing half the games. There was the Capcom Platinum one, which I really wanted to get, but that was basically the top box, and the other bit just disappeared. So, you know, there was other compilations there as well, which was tapes missing. The Fists of Fury, which had been after for ages, with Dynamite Ducks on it, that had got a tape missing. So it's a bit of a shame, really. Probably should have been right for being a cheap arse as well, but just happy to have that one, because that's about a tenner on eBay. In good condition. So to pay £4 for that, I think it was worth going for it. So yeah, I'm sorry there's not a bundle of stuff to show you from the gaming market, but that's what it is. So yeah, good venue. I think once they sort out the transportation pavement system in around the area, it'll be a lot better to get to, and I'm pretty sure they'll use it again. And now they've opened up those back rooms, there's still actually more space in there as well. So and they probably could have got a little bit more, maybe a few more traders in down the one wall as well. So in a way, I think it's definitely an improvement on the first one for sure. Well worth going if you get a chance to again. So hopefully they'll do it again. So final part of this video, let's move on to some. Oh, what I've done with that, I've left that else. I'll move that. I've left a game somewhere else. I'll have to tell you what it is. I received one of these to the post. Yes, to the Retro Bear. That'll be me. From my very good friend Ian at the RGB Gaming Podcast, who was a guest on the TNB Gaming Podcast. There's a lot of podcasts, gaming podcasts knocking around. And Ian came on a couple of episodes ago to talk about Disney games. and games based around cartoons, which we ended up talking about. And I did a guest spot on one of Ian's shows with Retrobait Paul, talking about 8-bit and which should have been 8-bit really, micros. We talked a bit about the Amiga as well. So go across to Ian's channel and listen to that, because it's really good. And he just sort of messaged me, so I've got some stuff I'd like to send you. So this is a note that comes in, because we always like to keep the note. And it says, "To Mr. Bear, thank you. I do the accent, but I can't do it. Thank you for the invite to the TMB podcast. Since we spoke about Disney games, I thought you might like these games for your collection, your trade-in pile, or the dump." The dump? I don't take things to the dump, Ian. Not for years anyway. Hope you enjoy it, mate. Warm regards, Ian. P.S. I thought you might enjoy some PlayStation games, because obviously PlayStation month was last month. So thank you for the note, Ian. I'm pleased to know that it looks to be a mixture of joined up and mixture of capital letters and not capital letters. But anyway, yeah, this is not in blood this time anyway, which is quite good. So Ian very kindly sent me some Disney games, and then some other games for PlayStation 1. So the Disney games, he sent me PlayStation 2 games. I can't show the first one because I believe I've left it in the room. But it was the Platinum version of Finding Nemo. It was very good. And I got these other two to show off here. And I've got these two. Yes, that's right. Yes, so just these two I want it. So first one he got me, which was Chicken Little. Now I've got this on the Wii, ironically enough. But I understand there's two games for the PlayStation 2. There's this one and there's another one. I think I must be one of the few people in the world to actually remember the Chicken Little film, because it wasn't very good. In fact, I don't think many people remember it at all as a Disney film. It wasn't very good at all. Made by BVG Games. I've never even heard of either. But yeah, I've got quite a few Disney games for the old PlayStation 2, so I shall put that with those. And the other one he sent me, which is I've actually seen this game before. I saw this game ages ago. I thought, oh, I'll grab that, and it was in terrible condition. And every time I've seen it, it's either been missing the manual or in terrible condition. And ironically for me, this actually uses a game engine for a series I don't like. This is Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. Now this actually uses the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It says the back here. Where are we? Yeah, use the power of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 game engine. So yeah, one of these ideas of shoehorning Disney characters and franchises into a skating game, because yes, they're using Toy Story, The Lion King, Tarzan, and Toy Story 2, The Lion King, and Disney's Tarzan. That's it. So I thought it was something else. Excuse the long pause. Anyway, but yeah, so I thought that's a bit of fun, that one, isn't it? So yeah, so thank you very much to those two, Ian, on the PlayStation 2. And he also sent me the PlayStation 1. So again, I've been through these. Again, a couple of these I've got, so I will stick them on my tray pile in, as you quite rightly mentioned to do. But thank you very much for sending me these. So we've got some PlayStation 1 games. These are all wrestling games, so you'll know what's coming next. We've got SmackDown 2. Now these are all complete. I've had a quick check. I will show you. There we go. So we've got SmackDown 2 manual and disc. Very nice. I remember SmackDown came out on the PlayStation when I got it first day when it came out, so I was thrilled to get that. There we go. What else have we got in here? Ooh. Some of these discs. Oh yes, that's it. I can see why that one's fallen out. There's the Spindlebrook. We've got ECW Anarchy Rules. I've got the other one. I think is Extreme Rules. I think it is. I've got that one as well. These ECW games use the old WWF Attitude game engine, done by Acclaim. But yes, it comes complete in manual. Bit of the old ECW there. Oh, new control system. Then we've got. We're going through all these ones tonight, aren't we? We're going through all the federations. We've got. I've got a couple of WCW games. I think have I got Nitro? I used to have Nitro. I'm pretty sure I've got it again. I don't think I've got Thunder though. And there's WCW versus the World, which I did have, which I don't have anymore. and there was WCW Mayhem as well, which was actually not a bad little game. This is WCW Backstage Assault. So I've never played this one, so quite interested to give it a go, although I know it's not going to be very good. Again, complete with manual and discy on the inside. I'm glad it comes complete with disc. No holds barred brawling. It's actually an EA game, this one, because they took over the franchise briefly. I think Mayhem was their first one. They bought that one out. And then the other one, which is probably one of my most favourite, well, some of my most favourite games. It's a game I remember putting ages into when I first had it. This one's sadly without the manual. This is WWF Warzone, from the height of the Attitude Era. And again, sadly that one without the manual, as I mentioned, but that's not great because these were sent to me free, and it's lovely to get a gift from somebody as well. So thank you very much for those 4, Ian. That was really appreciated. That's 4 wrestling games there, which will go into my PlayStation 1 collection. The one I've got will go into trade, and then obviously these 2 and the Finding Nemo game as well. They'll all go into my collection as well. So thank you very much for those, Ian. Great gifts, very gratefully received. And thank you very much for your generosity. It's brilliant. And that's it. That's all the pickups I've got. I mentioned in my last pickups video, I'm not sure how they're going to go now, especially with the old cost of living crisis going on. I don't think I can continue doing what I was doing last year. I mean, the whole purpose of doing that room next door, the 700, you know, the money I spent on that, pounds, a lot of money, that wouldn't be happening now. I can guarantee it. That would have to stay as it was. So I'm glad I did it when I did, but I don't know. I've enjoyed playing my games lately, so maybe I'll just go back into just playing games and enjoy the games I've got and not worry about having to run out and buy stuff and need to complete collections or add to collections. It might be the case if I do that, then if I find something I like or I want, I will do that. I probably still will, you know, game hunt or visit the local independents, because obviously their profit margins are dropping because I'm not going out and buying stuff off them in great bulks. But at the same time, I'm probably going to be, you know, just buying what I want now. I've been very much like that for some time. You know, the stuff I bought, you know, when I wanted Rare Replay, I wanted that Winners compilation. That's why I didn't go mad at the market, because there wasn't really anything that I wanted to pay the money that was being asked for as something that was sit on the shelf. Whereas if I bought, you know, a number of games, I'd work my way through them. You know, Rare Replay will keep me busy for ages, and like I said, I'm experiencing and enjoying PlayStation Now as well, and having done PlayStation Month, just getting those games out. And I want to get my Commodore 64, I want to get my Spectrum hooked up as well. So probably going to be more game playing with the odd, you know, journey out and picking up stuff up. But it, you know, ages ago, if I went back, you know, pre-pandemic, it was almost a necessity, an urge to go out every Saturday. You know, if I wasn't out the door by, you know, 9:15 in the morning, I would have been ill, or, you know, I don't know, there would be something wrong. Now it's like I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'd like to go out this morning. It was the same last week. It was last week I went out. I went last week, last Saturday. That was it. And I went out with the intention. I thought, you know what, I went to bed Friday night thinking, you know what, I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to go to 3 or 4 different places. I haven't done that for ages. I'm going to have a morning out, and I'm going to, you know, do an old-fashioned game hunt. By the time Saturday morning had rolled around, I was thinking, do you know what? I don't really fancy going there today. And, you know, it was a lovely day. Don't get me, the sun was out. It was beautiful. It was warm. It was a brilliant day. And all I did was I went to one local place I hadn't been to for ages. There was nothing there of interest, and I thought, I can't be bothered. So I just went and did my shopping and went home again. So I've maybe a bit more motivated. I don't know. Some people are having a lot of luck out there, but every time I seem to go out, I seem to strike out at the moment, and I'm thinking, the exercise is nice, but the frustration levels are huge. But then again, at the same time, I don't need to be spending money. I've got plenty to be going on with, so we'll see. Not saying that I'm not picking stuff up anymore. I just might not be picking as much up as before, and certainly being a lot more selective about it. Anyway, I'm not going to bang on about that. There's enough of that crap in the news as it is. If you have enjoyed everything apart from the last 2 minutes or so, It'd be great to hear from you. Please leave me a comment. That ticky belly thingy that goes on as well, that would be nice if you could do that. Shows appreciation, and you know, gives me a nice little warm feeling as well that people do enjoy these videos. I'll keep churning them out. And yeah, I will be back soon with something else, be it gameplay, be it a chat, be it podcast. I've got collection videos still to do. There's plenty of stuff I can be doing, don't worry. I'm not going to be knocking my content off. I just there is plenty of stuff I can be doing, but whether it's going to be pickup related, they may be more now a special rather than a necessity. Something's about to fall over, so I better get a move on. Thanks for watching. This is the Retro Bear saying do take care, and we'll see you again very soon. But until then, bye for now.